freestyle around here doesn't seem to be, I mean, people say it's slowing down other places, but we got still real large competitions, and we got a lot of riders up here. What's your feeling on, you know, on that?
We're still hot.
Where do you practice over the winter time up here?
Well, usually I just, after I wait until it stops snowing, I shovel off my whole driveway and just wait until that dries out, and then I just go. I don't care how cold it is or anything, just as long as I don't have any snow to ride on.
Are you challenging him right now on this tape?
Right now.
The King of the Flatland 1988 series continues.
I'm 14 years old.
And what class are you riding today?
I'm riding in 14 Expert.
14 Expert. How long have you been riding?
I've been riding for about 3.5 years.
Do you have a coach working with you? Do your parents work with you? What happens?
I usually just ride with my brother. I don't ride with a coach or anything.
So how do you get your best tricks? What happens? Do you just like come up with them out of nowhere? How do they come up?
I usually just practice real hard on this one trick, and after a while you start to get it like really consistent.
The elephant glide. It's like a double throw the Bible blast elephant glide.
How's the floor is a little bit slippery? They said they resurfaced it. Is it finding it pretty slippery, or is it?
Yeah, and I made a run this morning, and like I was doing like the easiest things. My back wheel would slip out from under me, and
How long have you been doing this?
About 3 years I've been doing it seriously. But I was racing and stuff before that, but I found freestyling more interesting.
Being original, that's kind of real important, and variety too.
says you won second place in the Texas AFA in '88. How'd that feel?
Yeah, I like that a lot. This is the first time I've ever really done good at a large competition, so I was really stoked about that.
I saw you out warming up. You had, it looked like you had some new stuff since Jersey. You were ripping on the howl spin and some other stuff. You got a lot of new stuff since Jersey. You gonna be pulling it out today, or?
Yeah, I got quite a few new tricks that I'm putting in my routine.
For the fourth time in a row, in first place from Billerica, Massachusetts, Tommy Simpson.
I'm standing here with the cream of the 14 to 15-year-old expert class. We have the first place finisher, Tommy Simpson. Tommy, you won it all today. How does it feel?
Feels great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I worked my hardest today.
Did you really? Anything special you did today to win it?
I did a hang 5 to elephant glide that I thought really helped a lot.
It was a really exciting run. It looks like the crowd really loved you.
Josh Marcel. Congratulations, Josh.
We're with the 16 and 17-year-old experts, the winners. We've got Josh Marcel, who took first place today. Josh, how does it feel to be the #1 of the day?
Well, feels pretty good. It's the first time this year getting first place. I'm pretty happy about it.
Have you learned a lot from this guy?
Quite a bit about professionalism and just working hard to be your best, yeah.
It says here on your sheet that your favorite freestyler is our own Chris Lasher. with Denny Howell. He's 18. He's from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Denny, you came all the way up here. What do you hope to accomplish today?
I hope to win.
Have you worked up a new routine specifically for this competition?
I've basically worked with the same routine as the contest 2 weeks ago, but I've been trying to get it down.
Let me ask you this: the people that you go to college with, are they beginning to take an interest in BMX bike freestyling?
Matter of fact, about 3 of my friends have already got freestyle bikes. Since I've been there, and in 3 week time, they've bought bikes, and now they're freestyling, trying to learn more tricks. It's pretty fun. I'm trying to get more and more people into it because I'm the only one right there in college that's freestyling. So the more people, the more fun it would be to ride with, you know.
I heard you're gonna be turning pro pretty soon. Is there an announcement to make or something like that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I've already started looking at pro now and like practicing for pro. You know, looking at a 4-minute routine and trying to space out tricks already.
You got some ideas for when you think you're gonna make the switch?
Probably like at the end of the year, as soon as it turns 1989.
So everybody out there, all you guys out there watching this tape, get your pause and rewind button so you can watch Darren's run and learn all his latest tricks. And we're looking forward to seeing him in the pro class. I know I am. I mean, he's gonna make me work a little bit harder. That's not really Darren's style. Darren doesn't need to psych anybody out. They all know what he's capable of. He's been really ripping it up, and everybody's talking about him and talking about when he's gonna turn pro. And we're all worried. You know, I mean, he's a good rider. What's up for new stuff? You had a really good run in Jersey. I've been doing, holding off a little bit and making sure you hit a consistent run. Yeah. And I heard you got some new stuff, some crazy stuff that's going to be coming out later. Backwards G-turn or something like that.
Yeah,
some other stuff.
That's my new stuff. A few other things like a Scarlet with the tight circles, backyard and tight circles, and a lot of other,
We're going to the forward stuff. I know for a while that was the one thing everyone said. Darren Pelio, he's going to pull out a rad run, but he's not doing the forward stuff yet. You working on that stuff?
Yeah, I'm working on that stuff for pro. Space it out so you can rest in a routine.
A little bit more variety.
Yeah, more variety, that's what I gotta do.
And they all look up to Darren, and he's a good role model.
Are you a good role model of Darren?
Oh yeah, I try to be a good boy. Yeah, just work hard and, sweat and look like you're working hard.
Division. In third place, Glenn Galrad. In second place, all the way from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Denny Howell. First place, from North Swansea, New Hampshire, Darren Pelio.
And here we are, the best of the day, the 18 and over experts. Taking first place, Darren Pelio. How's it feel, Darren, to be the best one of the day?
Well, as we put it, I'm stoked, and it gets you enthused to ride more. You just want to ride more and, you know, keep going.
Where are you going to go from here? Besides home tonight?
More shows, more. We got another comp next month. We got more nationals to go do. So we still got a lot of work to do.
All right, second place, Denny Howell, riding for the Northcoast team. How's it feel to take second?
Feels pretty good. I hope for better, but there's always another contest. You know, I can practice.
Have anything in mind that you're going to do to get to first place next time?
Learn more tricks, try to get more consistent in my tricks, pulling them off.
We've had a lot of fun here today at the American Freestyle Association and Explorer Post 883 King of the Flatlands competition. We'd like to thank New Hampshire College for having us all here today, and we'd like to thank Jim Lang and John Cote standing next to me. All right. We've settled a lot of questions today. We've settled who is the best today in each of the categories, in the novice, the intermediate, and the advanced. But there is one question that we haven't settled today. Between the East Coast and the West Coast, where are the better freestylers?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff in the magazines, you know, coming out, the East Coast versus West, who's radder. Now, freestyle's rad, but if you guys on the West ever want to put it on the line, the guys over here are ready. What do you say? Yeah!
Combine the fun of skateboarding and the freedom of cycling, and you have Get Up and LaRun. The hottest new cycling sport and personalized transportation from Europe has hit America. You've seen them on TV, and you've heard of them in the hottest bike shops, and now you can own one for yourself and experience the most advanced technology in self-propelled motion. Collapsible for storage and will fit in most school lockers. LaRun is made of lightweight, super durable metals that ensure quality and safety. Get up and LaRun. The fun has just begun.